Friends, family, and YouTube followers around the world and subs. Welcome into my world again, where this morning we're gonna run a tank of gas to start limbing the thing. Next door to where I'm working, we have a duck pond right there. You see them? See the little khakis? And there's Jack, the pit bull. And he'll be my trusty little sidekick. But I'm gonna go get the tripod to sit this thing on. And it happens to be in the house, because that's just how I work. Here we go, we'll walk through this mess of bushes here. There's the stump from the beach. Look at that. Look at that. I never noticed that before. It had a little branch starting to grow right out of the trunk. Look at that. Funny, isn't it, how trees grow? Look at that. Was one healthy tree though. Look at it. Should we count the rings? Yeah. I can't see here. I'm going to cut it again and then put some herbicide on it, because I really don't want the stump to grow back. Here's the house right here. This is why we cut it down. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's hard to see them. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Massive growth each year. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I think I'm going to have to cut this thing flat to actually get a good look at it. 28 though, look at that. 28 years, and look at that's from there to there is a good 10 inches. But I'll show you why it grows fast in these years here. Look, we have a slope and the water drains down here, and there's like this little flat land here in between the house and this hill, and it pools in this area and slowly runs off. So it was growing so quick, and I should have taken it down when I took all the rest of the trees down to build the house here, but yeah, you don't know. And then they kind of put the house closer than I thought to this. I thought it would have been located more that way, about another 6 feet. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'm getting the tripod. That's why I get sidetracked. And I'm gonna start limbing it. Take it up to the firewood area. There's the tripod. Get it out. And we're back out into the project area. There's Jack. Good morning to Jack. Where's a good spot to set this guy up? Hard to say. This is all the branches we took off the house leaning side before we leveled it. When it's on the ground, it doesn't look as big. But it really was an imposing tree. And I was all concerned about this knot of branches. Let me get around here. Because, look at it. It was all twisty and gnarly, and beech is really heavy, dense. And I was worried that it could twist on its base because it was leaning. The top canopy was leaning into the house about 2 feet. And, you know, if we didn't have the tractor pulling it, we put the chain pretty high up, like right around there. We would not have been, I don't know, maybe Matt would have been able to get that thing to go, but I'm not so sure. It really was top heavy with all this stuff. So we definitely needed something to be tugging on it pretty hard. That was me on the tractor. He did the cutting. All right, let's get this up here. I got enough jabbering away. Working on slopes here again. Let's fix it here. Get this in the tripod here. Here we go. Start down here. Here we go. Now I got to try to get this echo started. And you all know how much he doesn't like to start. But I think it's breaking in. Come on. I'm not sure why they don't put a primer bulb on some saws and they do on others. Does anybody know why? It was on. Yeah, this thing's a dog to start. Really is. Get some GNDL and support Gondola Bros. We got a troll here. Okay, yeah, good idea. What's Gondola Bros? Eh? EcoSense, man. What's gondola? What's GNDL? Here's your chance. Here's the platform. Got 2,300 subs. Curious about what that is. Come on. Come on, baby. In, out. Yeah, if I wasn't on live, I'd probably like... There we go. Nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody should have to pull this thing 100 times before your saw starts. Okay, what does EcoSense mean? We are a gaming company and we create code compiling tools for developers. Okay. And how's that going to change my life? Is it going to make my life better? Like Scotty Splitting Outdoors does. Here we go. I got her warmed up. Let's work. EcoSense, man. I'll think about it. PPE. Here we go. Hit the like, subscribe, and yeah. See what gondola can do. Glasgow Haskell. What is that? show you something here. Jules, you made. This is just a small piece of the tree, but it weighs a lot. It weighs about 10 pounds. This tree probably weighs easy 5,000 pounds. Got some cleanup work to do, don't I? It's gonna be big. All these branches, we're gonna chip them with the Wallenstein BX 42. That's not bullshit 42. No, BX 42. There's a little squirrel's nest down here. Squirrel's nest. We have a lot of squirrels, more than we need. Good firewood. The best, actually, one of the best. And one of the things that I do is don't make them really my firewood size out here, because it's just more sticks I gotta pick up. So what I do is make them either this long or twice as long, 3 to 4 firewood sticks long. Pick them up in the tractor, take them to the wood processing area, and I can cut them there. And ones like this, I need a little chop saw to take care of these, because cutting these with the chainsaw is actually more work if they're just laying on the ground, because they spin and roll all over the place. So I should do like my friend Jimmy does. He just brings his chop saw out and just zips them to the length he wants. Oh, the other thing is, my strategy with this tree is to take the top it, take the top off, and then pull out the rest of the tree with the tractor. So I'll just skid it with the tractor up and then cut it up there to my lengths. That's the plan. But look at this knot of branches here. So I don't know if you saw, but that overhanging branch there caught the back of my helmet and undid it. These beech trees, they have these little seed pods. They're really sharp. And all the branches, they're hangers on. They grab you, they poke you. It's actually not an easy tree to work on. That's been my experience. And I'm an amateur, but I have a lot of experience amateuring. That's what I say about beech. Great stuff to burn. It makes beautiful coals in the stove. Like they'll last all night long if you fill it up with beech. And then you got a beautiful bed of coals to work with in the morning. It's so nice. But dealing with it in this fashion, not easy. Anyway, it was a little break. Let's keep going. And now she'll start right up. That's Timberwolf's modus operandi. Don't start from the cold, but we'll start right up now. See, and then they grab on, the branches grab onto your saw. See that? Wet, 25 pounds. Maybe more. I got all these tripping hazards. This stuff we put through the chipper. So the nice thing is I can leave, see the top here? I can leave the top here for the most part. Because that is all dead wood from stumps that were left there building the house. And I had to sacrifice the cherry tree there and one here, a nice one on this one here. I like that one, but yeah, we couldn't avoid it. gas. Not a bad time to stop either, because I can start cleaning up this mess. I can get the tractor. Now, see, I'm not in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry when you're doing this stuff. That's one thing I learned from Buckin' Billy. He says it more than once. You're not in a hurry. And he's right. Take your time and do it right. Christoph, glad you could join. Appreciate all my subs I got in the last couple days. I can thank my pets for that, mainly. Jack, the pit bully, and Maple, the cat. But Jack, he got quite a few likes going to the vet. Asking about his ticker, if it was still ticking. All right, now, yeah, tidy up time. Because we got errands to run here. And pickleball. Oh, this guy, he's a heavy one. 60 pounds, I bet you. 70, maybe more. This is the pile here. So the nice thing about where we live is I can just take these tops. I'm gonna take the thick wood. We're gonna use that. We're gonna burn it or chip it. And then the little skinny branches I just leave there. I make a little pile and it becomes a habitat. Not for humanity, but in benefit of humanity, because you know, little critters can live in there. Birds like piles of debris in the forest. So it's good for the forest, good for forest health. And yeah, so I'm gonna actually end this now because I gotta go get the tractor and I need both hands on the wheel for that, and I gotta work quickly. Thank you for joining. Check out EcoSense Men's. The rooms we make will make it even easier for the common man to code with AI. Make websites, apps, anything. That's pretty cool. Good. But make sure that it's maximally truth seeking. EcoSense man. And who else? Did Devin get on? No, he's probably sleeping, right? Anyway, thanks for joining. Peace out. Have a great day, great weekend. And hit the like and subscribe if you want to. Bye-bye.